People get inspiration and creativity from all kinds of things around us. I know I do. Books, speakers, podcasts, other leaders, traveling the world, even just taking a walk. Sometimes the best ideas I've ever come up with are around these types of things. But today we're going to take the show in a little bit different direction. We're going to talk about how rock and roll has actually inspired me and what we can all learn from rock lyrics. Hi, I'm Chris Reynolds, and I'm on a mission to help independent financial advisors build a better business through a remarkable client experience. In this podcast, you're going to learn how to do that from my conversations with the visionaries, the leaders, the independent advisors who are reshaping the future of the financial advice industry. At the end of each episode, you're going to walk away with an actionable idea that you can take and use right now, and it will help you to build a better business today. This is Turning the Page. Today is just me talking about a subject that's really near and dear to my heart, which is music. Some people ask me what I would have done if I didn't get into the investment business. And the answer is always pretty easy for me. It would have been the music business because I love music. I love the creativity of music. I love, everything that goes around music. And it's not just music per se. It's the whole a client experience around music. Personally, I love rock and roll because of the showmanship and everything else, but I also like the basics of just good music, like the blues and blues guitar. My problem is the reason I'm not in the music business is I have zero musical talents, none. I own a collection of guitars that I can't play. I have a horrible singing voice. I have no natural rhythm whatsoever. I can't dance, and I have a face for radio. So if I was getting into the music business, I would have been like a Rick Rubin kind of guy. I would have been finding and developing talent. And in fact, it's not too different from what I do currently in the investment business. But in fact, I just finished actually Rick Rubin's book, Creative Act. I loved it, and I'd highly recommend it for anyone who is a music fan. And it's really about the creative process. And the creative process is not just a music thing, because I think when we think of creativity and that kind of thing, we go down the path of music, poetry, art, but business itself is a creative process. It's not limited to these things. It's really in everything we do is creativity. Rock is all about creativity in all its forms. People who know me know that, and I'm almost embarrassed to say this, but Kiss is one of my favorite bands. And Kiss is one of my favorite bands, not just about the music. No, don't get me wrong. Growing up at the time that I grew up, it was great. We loved the heavy metal. We loved the loud guitars and big drum solos. But think about what Kiss did in the music business. What they did was they took it not just from, the music part of view, but they made an entire client experience around the band Kiss. In fact, Gene Simmons one time said, I don't want to be the band Kiss. I want to be the brand Kiss. And it's the makeup, it's the stage show, it's the merchandising, it's the outrageousness of Kiss that makes it my favorite. So how did I come up with this podcast? Well, every day I try to spend at least an hour in the gym. That's sort of my personal time working out and listening to music and thinking about business. Mainly I listen to heavy metal for motivation, but it jumps around. And during one of these sessions, I thought to myself, as I was listening to the lyrics of one of the songs, this would be some great life lessons that we can take the lyrics of rock stars and make an interesting podcast out of it. So I jotted down some of my most memorable ones, and I'd like to share them with you today. So I'm going to start with the basics. And the basics is Be Yourself, the song Be Yourself from the band Audioslave. And I love it. Chris Cornell, who's the lead singer of Audioslave, this is what he sings. With every single memory of the good and bad faces of luck, don't lose any sleep tonight. I'm sure everything will end up all right. You may win or lose, but be yourself is all that you can do. And the life lesson here, as I said, I heard these lyrics and I jotted down, what's the life lesson I get out of this? And life lessons is pretty straightforward. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to have good luck and we're going to have bad luck. But never lose any sleep. Never worry, because in the end, if you do the right things and just be yourself, it's all you can do. We spend a lot of time worrying and luck comes and luck goes. But be yourself. And if you think about business, what do consumers really want? And they want a company or a person who's authentic, right? Being yourself, being authentic, being driven by principles, being driven by things that people can latch onto and be inspired by and motivate them to be better. And I think this was great. Again, you may win or you may lose, but be yourself is all that you can do. And I thought that was great. So the next is a personal favorite of mine, of course. Everybody loves Metallica. Everyone's heard Metallica, but they have a song, Nothing Else Matters. And the lyrics, once again, if you really listen to them, they're quite inspiring. The lyrics are, trust I seek and I find in you. Every day for us something new. Open mind for a different view and nothing else matters. Now, there's a lot to unpack here. But what do people, at the end of the day, what is Metallica trying to say? Is what do people seek? What is he seeking? What is anyone seeking? And it's trust. Always something new. Keep an open mind. Right? Think of the people that you trust, people who have an open mind. They're not closed-minded, they're open-minded. They try to look at the world. They try to be sort of a sponge and have an ongoing curiosity. And I think this was one of the best lines, is this ongoing curiosity mindset, because that builds trust. Right? Every day for us is something new. So for someone who has insatiable curiosity, every day is something new. So think of it in the terms of business, think of it in the terms of your customer, is trust I seek and I find in you. How do you provide trust to your clients, your existing clients and potential clients? And it's usually pretty simple. It's by doing what you say you're going to do, is being consistent in delivering what you say you're going to deliver at all times. Always keep an open mind for a different view, because every day for us, something new. Really, at the end of the day, think of Metallica, nothing else matters. Now, going on to a little less rock and roll, but good nonetheless, and people can argue whether it's rock and roll or not, but there's a great song called Pink is Floyd by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And here are the lyrics. And you shine as you redefine your time, just another time of day. Do you feel the spark when you play the part? Superstar, fake it for me anyway. Now, where this song came from was actually, this is my brother-in-law's favorite song. He told me one day that he plays this on his drive to work. Now, this is probably back when you actually drove to work. And this was his motivation for the day. So now let's think about and unpack some of these lyrics. When you shine, you redefine your time. Have you ever noticed this? That when you're doing something you love, when you're doing something you're passionate about, say you're working on something that is really in your ballpark, and the thing that you love, that you're passionate about, that you're driving, you're good at it, it redefines your time, doesn't it? It flies by. You don't even know that hours have gone by when you're so caught up in something. Meaning every task you do, all tasks are important. And when you shine, time stands still. Do you feel the spark when you play the part superstar? Right? So in other words, once again, when you're playing the part of the thing that you're passionate about, you feel the spark, you feel energized, you feel, and I've talked about this before in another podcast, which was every hero needs a quest. When you feel that spark and you play the part, you're a superstar. You just feel on top of the world. It gives you that meaning to get up every morning. But there are times where you're not feeling 100%, where you're not behind it. And if you listen to the Red Hot Chili Peppers, fake it for me anyway. There are times where you're just going to have to reach deep for your own motivation and fake it. But that's what life's all about. The next one is actually one of my favorite songs of all time. And it was actually written about a breakup. Keith Richards of Rolling Stones fame wrote the song Ruby Tuesday about Linda Keith during their breakup. And this was actually my motivation for this podcast, was this song when I heard it. And as I said, I think about this song quite a lot because it has timeless lyrics. And in fact, I'm just going to take a little snippet out of this song, but you can listen to the whole song and it's very inspirational. But here are the lyrics that I really gravitate towards. There's no time to lose. I heard her say, catch your dreams before they slip away. Dying all the time. Lose your dreams and you will lose your mind. Ain't life unkind? And as I said, I think about this song a lot. The song has it all. First of all, the importance of time, right? The importance of always having a dream, finite time we have to accomplish those dreams. What happens when people lose their dreams? So no time to lose. Like, people delay. We say, we're not going to do it today. We're not going to do it today. We're not going to do it today. And what Ruby Tuesday is saying is, catch your dreams before they slip away, because time does run fast. And if you don't jump on your dreams and do the tasks and the things that need to happen, it slips away, because she reminds us, you're dying all the time. Life is finite. And if you lose your dreams, you will lose your mind. And as she reminds us, ain't life unkind? Right? Life doesn't wait for you, doesn't say, let's pause because you don't have all your stuff together. Sometimes you just have to do it. And Ruby Tuesday is, again, one of the most inspirational songs, I think. And I don't think Keith actually meant it to be an inspirational song, but he was simply describing a girl that he broke up with. And she seems to be a pretty cool girl. So I can see why he wrote the song. And finally, I'm going to leave you with a song that probably needs no explanation, but it's from a band called Cage the Elephant, and it's one that we can all appreciate. And so here are the lyrics. There ain't no rest for the wicked. Money don't grow on trees. I got bills to pay. I got mouths to feed. There ain't nothing in this world for free. I can't slow down. I can't hold back, though I wish I could. Oh, there's no rest for the wicked until we close our eyes for good. Now, once again, I don't think that we need much of an explanation here, because as Cage the Elephant says, there is no rest for the wicked. When you're on a mission, you're on a mission. And certainly in business, this is very, very true. I see people that come up to a certain level of success and then they coast. And the problem with coasting is there is no standing still in business. In business, you're either moving forward or you're moving backwards. There's no in between. You're either going forward or you're going backwards. And so, listening to Cage the Elephant, I can't slow down. I can't hold back, though, I wish I could, because there ain't no rest for the wicked until we close our eyes for good. I love this. And again, I think it's the best way to close off of our podcast. Now, you may also have been inspired by lyrics to a song. And if you have, I would love to hear them. Drop me a line personally. Put them in the comments section below. And if I get enough of them, not only will I do another podcast on them, but I just got the idea that we could also probably do a playlist for everybody of Apple or Spotify or something like that. But I would love to hear from you. What songs have inspired you? I think that there's always room for inspiration, always room for creativity. And music is just one of those great creative outlets that lets people do and be their best. With that, I look forward to our next podcast. Thank you very much for listening. Thanks for joining me on Turning the Page. What did you learn from today's episode? If you follow me on LinkedIn, please drop me a comment there. I'd love to chat with you about it over a virtual coffee. Send me a message on LinkedIn, or you can do so at our website. The link's in the show notes. I'm Chris Reynolds, and until next time.